Hello and welcome to the Mary Houlihan Show.
I was doing these series where I was getting like semen put in my hair and like I was popping in a jade egg and had leeches thrown all over my body.
You ugly what's wrong with you? This dumb must have faked her test. There's no way this dumb could be in Mensa with us.
Rich people are definitely evil and rich people have like supremacy brain.
Every comedian, their comment sections are like, I'm going to strangle you. Hello and welcome to the Mary Houlihan Show. We are here with esteemed guest, Jamie Loftus.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Of course. I'm excited to have you here. I think of this as kind of a thought leader podcast.
Awesome. That's how I think of myself.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm tired of saying this, but they've made it such a thing, the Joe Rogan of the left.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to be a Joe Rogan of the left.
Of a left.
A left. In that I think I'm like normal and relatable, and then I'm like, oh, this person is interesting, people should hear from them. Mm-hmm. And then I have guests on like that, and you're a guest like that.
I'm so honored to be a guest like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're a comedian,
mm-hmm.
an actor and a writer.
Yeah.
And what I think is quite interesting about you mm-hmm. is that you have forged a very unique career as like a journalist in podcast form.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
You have Mensa Pod, you have Lolita Pod, mm-hmm. you have Kathy Pod, mm-hmm. 16th Minute. Mm-hmm. I'm probably missing some.
There's one about spiritualism in there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you want to do these like essentially research projects in podcast form as opposed to like pitching an article somewhere?
That was something that like it wasn't super intentional how that ended up happening. I did pitch it as, my first like long form reported podcast was My Year in Mensa, which was based on reporting I did in like 2018 and 19. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, I had done, I don't even know what you call it, like kind of gonzo-y style articles that were like, I don't know, it felt like everyone was doing them in the 2010s.
Sure.
So I was doing that and I really enjoyed it. But there was like, because I'd been doing Mensa for so long, I had like lost a bunch of money on my own and because I was paid like $75 to write the articles and I was like paying out of pocket to travel and get verbally abused and all this stuff.
Yes.
That I was like, okay, I was talking to my manager at the time and I was like, I like wrote this big long article that was like too long to go anywhere and it was like too short to pretend it was a book. Yes. And I don't think I could have gotten a book published then anyways. And I had been working in podcasting for a couple of years at that point as just like a weekly movie podcast for the Bechtel cast. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, I'll just try to make it into like, I'll just basically restructure and add production and read this very long essay that I wrote and like turn it into a podcast and release that independently. And it went well enough that I ended up like my day job was like, oh wait, actually we do like that, will you make more of them? So it was a couple of years where I got like a lot of kind of creative freedom to do projects like that, and the timing worked out great because, well, not great, but like it was during lockdown that I sort mm-hmm. of really started making those projects in earnest, and so it was something that I was able to like really sink my mind into in a way that like gave me a sense of control.
Yeah.
So I kind of like stumbled into it backwards, but got to make shows that I was really proud of for like 5 years. It was really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I feel like with the COVID lockdown and also the strikes, so many like comedian actor types, and also every network consolidating and corporatization happening,
Yeah.
and no one hiring.
Yeah.
So many people are realizing like, oh shit, I need to like make my own thing and self-produce. And I feel like you were really ahead of the curve. Not that you predicted those things happening, but
no, it was it was all very like in the moment where, I don't know, like everyone has their version of like, here's what I thought was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, like, based on the predicament you're in, which was still very lucky, where it's like I could stay home, and luckily I had sort of found this like job that I wasn't even aware existed, because it kind of didn't exist, but then all of a sudden everybody was listening to podcasts, and then the job did exist. And so there was, I got super lucky that there was like a place to put all of that energy. And yeah, I don't know, it's also the kind of stuff that I really enjoy listening to and making. And I had been working in like sort of journalism for years, so I felt like, okay, I can, you know, sort of challenge myself and push myself to make something bigger. Yeah.
the Mensa podcast is funny and scary for people who haven't heard it. So you join Mensa, and then you kind of realize that a lot of the Mensa community is like incels.
Kind of, yeah.
There's a bit of overlap with Mensa and incel type.
There's a lot of like, yeah, libertarian to right wing, and this is like specifically on their like in their online,
like in their
world
Facebook
too.
groups.
Yeah, which is where at the time all of the
Yes.
socials around it lived in Facebook groups, because it was 2018.
Yes.
So yeah, I was finding a lot in there specifically, and then I just totally misunderstood what kind of person I was going to find in there.
Yes,
which
yeah.
to some extent, I like try to get into this in the podcast, is on me, because I was judging them in a way that I should have been judging them in a totally different way.
Sure, yes. Yeah, I feel like before your pod, my fantasy of what Mensa was like this really cool thing where like you just take the test, and so it's not just like people with advanced degrees. It could also be like the janitor or the hourly wage worker who happens to be a genius, and they love reading and blah blah blah, and but then the reality was like it's just racist memes.
There's a lot of racist memes, and also part of what you're saying is true.
Sure.
Is like it is technically a group that anyone from any background can get into,
Which is cool.
Yeah. But like then you get into like, well, what are we considering the ground level for what constitutes a genius? And that gets into IQ, which sort of explains the racist meme thing.
Yeah.
Like it when you know the history of the IQ and of IQ qualifying groups, it makes total sense, because who is most likely to be able to test into these groups are like white people, who the tests were designed for, who will, you know, most likely excel more at. But that said, there was still, I met like I talked about it in the podcast, there were a number of like very sweet people I met there who were trying to sort of push back against this wave of racist meme Facebook groups that I honestly don't really know where that stands now. If the podcast did anything, I have no idea. But there were people who were like, this is an opportunity for people to build community, because that was like the other thing that I found so frustrating is like, of course, like everyone needs community, and there were people there who I think, especially reflecting now, just like really needed to feel like a part of something and want a community, and but like found it in a really ugly, dark, oppressive way. And that's like, God, how many like groups can we say kind of the same of? So it's a sillier version of it, but I still think about it a lot, because like at an individual level, and I guess I would include myself in this, it's like everyone wants to be a part of something.
Of course.
but it's like, where are you steered to and why? And people want to feel important too. And that's like another big part of Mensa. And there are healthier ways to feel important, and also you don't need to feel important every second of every day.
Yes, it's better to feel of use, I think, than to feel like a special genius.
Well, especially when it's like when the group is like predicated on feeling better than other people. That's maybe supremacy vibes.
Yes, slightly.
So, yeah.
And so some of these people were so pissed, and they were like, this dumb bitch must have faked her test. There's no way this dumb bitch could be in Mensa with us.
Yeah. But I mean, if I'm recalling correctly, I didn't get in by like a wide margin, but I did technically qualify. And I studied really hard. But yeah, that was, I mean, it was so long ago now, but it was like a really weird, interesting experience. And it was really cool seeing how people received it, and just, I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. I really like your podcast 16th Minute.
Thanks.
Which is about people who are viral, and often it ruins their life for a period.
Sure.
most of the guests, it's their life gets ruined for a little bit, and then they they get lost in the fame, or like getting harassing messages all the time.
Yeah.
And then later they figure out how to
split the difference a little
bit.
Yes. Yeah, mostly, yeah.
And I find it interesting. I see like overlap there with your Mensa project, because it sounds like the Mensa project was a lot of people being insane to you online.
Yeah, it is sort of like most people I've talked to on 16th Minute got it way worse than I ever did.
Sure,
and it was and I had such a hard time with it that it's like, God, it just like, I'm like nowhere near the first person to say it, but just like no one is built for that.
Yes.
And so I find it very bone chilling that now it's like everyone has the goal of that happening to them. When I've talked to like 50 people who are like, do not have this happen to you. But now it's like it's the objective for like normal people, which is just like, I don't know, it really, I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll watch stand-up clips, and I'll look in the comments like of other stand-ups, like acquaintance type people, and the comments will be like, you ugly bitch, what's wrong with you?
You're like, I did it enough people saw this that I got to the people who want to call me an ugly bitch.
It's
exciting.
It's a really weird thing to watch, because I think to be successful, you picture like, oh, I'm going to have all of these brilliant fans who understand my work. I'm going to be a George Carlin-esque, but every comedian, even the most intelligent comedian, their comment sections are like, I'm going to strangle you.
Terrific. Yeah, I don't know how, like, it's nice. It's nice to see like a really funny woman and then open the comments, and it's like, oh, some of the most sexually terrifying ideas. Like I do believe there's innovation going on in those comments where you're like, I didn't know this could occur to someone to want to do to someone who is objectively talking about like the news or whatever it is. It's kind of beautiful in a way. I don't know.
So years ago when I worked at Seriously, they especially were like prodding me to I think make videos that would get that kind of reaction. Yeah. And it was really not fun. I had very scary messages much of the time.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine.
It kind of spooked me from being too online. I think for a while after that, I was like, I'm just a writer. I don't need to have a big online footprint.
Yeah.
And I started seeing after I graduated cosmetology school, big pivot.
Never forget.
I started seeing this therapist, and I said, okay, I'm done with cosmetology school now. And everyone there was telling me that I should go back to comedy. And I was telling them all the things that are wrong with comedy and how it's a bad lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just pretty much met this therapist and told her, like, I would like to do comedy. Here are all the things that make me crazy about it. And we worked through them. And I would say to her, like, yeah, basically, like, it's scary to want to grow and get more famous knowing that people are going to be insane towards you.
Right.
And I feel like one of your 16th minute guests, I feel like I've found some equilibrium where I think I accept that people are insane online and it's okay. And they usually don't mean the death threats.
God, what if you could tell yourself that 10 years ago? How would you 10 years ago feel about hearing that? I'm like, yes, I believe that. But I feel like I'm sort of where you were post cosmetology school, where I feel way more like not wanting to share things in the way that I once did. And I guess it's like at some point it's just like deciding, and it changes all the time, but you're like, is it worth it for someone to tell me to kill myself every single day? And if so, why?
Yeah.
And my current feeling
That's
is
funny.
it isn't. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it still happens, but you know,
Sure,
I'm not offering anything that would provoke it. It just happens.
Yes, of
based on things
course.
I said years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a world we're in.
It's really weird. I mean, it is interesting hearing you talk about like when you worked at Seriously. I worked at Super Deluxe like during that sort of same time period. And at the time I kind of like had more fun with getting the death threats than I do now, which sounds crazy, but like I was doing a lot of like, it's part of what made me do Mensa, where I was like so much of my comedy, because I liked it and I really do like gross body horror, like weird stuff, but also because at the same time that was like what was being offered and like pushed towards, and there was like a sexual element to it, where it's like I was doing these series where I was getting like semen put in my hair, and like I was popping in a jade egg, and I was like had leeches thrown all over my body, like arguably like fetish content that I was once again being paid $75 to make, but that was like getting all these views and being repeatedly reassured that it was because you're so funny that you're getting that people want to watch leeches all over your 24-year-old body. That's it. Just Jamie, it's the jokes that are making that are bringing them.
They think it's irreverent.
And like getting to a point with that where I both like I did enjoy making those videos, like, and I really enjoyed who I was making them with, and it was like fulfilling, like right, like getting eyes on your stuff. And then at some point being like, well, I have to like I felt at some point I had to demonstrate to the people who wanted me to like put stuff in my pussy and hair like that, I wanted to demonstrate to them that like, yes, I like making this for you, but I also can read. And that was like, I think weirdly a big part of like the why I like made that first podcast was to just offer that and be like, what do you think what do you think about me, my literacy? What do you think? And so
that's funny. Wow. Okay, so everything is overcompensating for the Leech period.
I think the Leech period really did a number on me. And I liked it. That's the one. That's where you have to like be like, okay, were so many people in those comment sections like disgusting? Yes. Would I do it today? Yeah, I would. I would do it right now. I can't like, and probably not for a dignified reason. I just think it'd be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, you should go back to horror.
Go back. I have
Yeah.
to go back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I yeah, why not?
Yeah. So you made this pod about Lolita, the book.
Mm-hmm.
Lolita, the book, the pod. I forget what it was called. What's it called?
It's called Lolita podcast.
Lolita
Yeah,
podcast.
you're overthinking it.
Chill out, Mare. So you have this whole podcast about the book and the movie renditions of the book and the culture around the book and how do I phrase this? Well, I guess it's just like interesting to me. I feel like people have gotten very stupid.
Yeah.
Online. I don't think they've gotten stupid, but I
they've
think
gotten
the way that
stupid out
people
in the
talk
world as well.
to one another is strange now.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because Twitter and Threads makes you talk in like 3 sentences or less.
Okay.
So you can't talk in nuance.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read someone else's take, you can't imagine that they have a more nuanced worldview than that. You're judging based on the
That
1 or 2
thing.
sentences.
Sure.
And I feel like it seems very online to be like, ew, who would read Lolita? That's a book about a pedophile. I would never. And I feel like your podcast, dare I say, is an antidote to people having the dumbest takes about
and they
culture.
always will.
Yes.
But
well,
yeah.
that's like a big thing of like, especially like movies. If there's like a bad character, people are like, I can't believe anyone would like this movie. Which I find interesting for sure.
I mean, there's definitely a period of I also think it's like to some extent just like a maturity thing. When I see someone in their 40s saying shit like that,
Yes.
it's like, okay, we have a serious problem. When I see someone in their like early 20s
Yes, they're
saying that,
figuring
it's
things
like
out. Yeah.
we gotta let the frontal cortex lock in.
Yes.
I had too many dog shit takes when I was 23 to be able to be like,
Sure,
and I
yeah.
would never do it because I for sure have.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must own it. But wait, what was the question?
Well, it was a bad question in that there wasn't much
wasn't.
room to answer.
Okay. Okay. I will do my best.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get you to wax poetic on on making a podcast that shows many sides of a complex thing, which I don't think people like right now.
Yeah. I agree that like a lot of people don't like it. There is like I think a big space for like deep dive like I feel like it is like considered a style of content to make
Sure.
now, which I both like and dislike because, well, whatever. This is unrelated to the Lolita project, but part of what was really nice about making that project was I didn't have a ton of time to make it. I had maybe about 6 months to make the whole thing, but I did have some time, and now that I think even at the time, if you were talking to like a more serious writer than myself, I think they would be like 6 months isn't enough time to do that and do it in a full way, which I feel aware of because there's a ton of things that I would have found and explored in that project if I had had more time. But like the constraint of it at the time creatively was like, we need this out in 6 months. You have 6 months. And now it's like that time period keeps shrinking, but the level of nuance and intensity and like in-depthness you're expected to get into is expected to be the same. And it's just impossible to do. And so it's like I really enjoy, like, I don't know, my YouTube algorithm is full of deep dives, some of which are really, really cool and really great. And then others of which are kind of like pretty surface level for a deep dive.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't even fault the person making it. I think that the internal like pressure is like
they have
algorithm
like a schedule
driven.
to put things out.
Yeah, if you have to put out like a deep dive every 3 days on something, you're never gonna be able to get deep into anything. Like it's just impossible. But we talk about it as if it is, where you're like, this is like essentially a Wikipedia page that someone else wrote.
Yes.
And probably put a lot more time into. Like, I don't know. It just drives me crazy how I think the yardstick for nuance and like depth and like really looking at a topic has shrunk so much, and it feels like driven by this fear that if you actually take time to make something, that you will be completely forgotten in the time it took you to make it.
Yes.
And I don't know, I think like in every area that I've like worked in or even just like observed passively, that mindset feels so present.
Yeah.
And I hate it so much. I think I feel like the fact that I feel like so grateful to have had 6 months to write basically a thesis.
Right.
Like,
yes.
that's crazy. And anyways, like with Lolita, I felt like, and 6 months that was spent completely inside. 6 months that I, you know, if it had been possible to conduct life normally, would have taken a year, because presumably I would have like gone outside or like
bathed.
seen my parents or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 6 months in a bunker, you could do it. But now it's just, I don't know. It makes me feel 1,000 years old, but it drives me crazy. I didn't answer the question a second time. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's good. Again, it was a question that was worded in such a way that you kind of have to use your imagination.
Yeah. I think we got there.
I do think
I definitely said something. I don't know what it was.
We both said words.
We did. It all came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Raw Dog.
Uh-huh.
And it's a travelogue. It's history. It's also kind of sports reporting a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think hot dog eating is sports.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. How do you like writing a book versus a podcast? And also like the promoting and everything you have to do with a book. And also money.
Also, oh gosh.
Yeah, which is better, podcast or book?
Podcast, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, easily podcast.
Yeah.
But
people don't like reading.
That's definitely not true, but you're paid as if people don't like reading.
Yes.
And I still felt good about what I got paid to write that book, but podcasting definitely was. But again, it's like, to write the book, I had so much more time and so much more support that I was, kind of happy to take like less money than I would have made podcasting during that same amount of time to actually feel like, okay, I did everything I possibly could, and I feel like I was given a good amount of time to write it. Yeah, I don't know. I love writing book. I'm almost finished with my second book, and it's my favorite thing in the world. It definitely makes I mean, there's so much of it is similar, where now it's like, if you want to be an author, the first question you're asked is like, so how are we going to get into book talk? Like, it's still,
oh, that's funny.
It's the same rules, right? But in the same way, it's like, how do we get people to talk about your podcast? But
leeches.
Throw leeches on my body, or become a reels savant. Like, I don't know. That's what you have to do.
What's your new book?
It hasn't been announced yet, but it's a fiction book that I've been working on for a couple of years. I'm really excited about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it comes out next summer.
Oh my god.
I'm very excited. I like seeing authors get creative with like ways to promote their work. I just sort of did what I knew how to do with Raw Dog, and I threw like a bunch of comedy shows. Like, every city we went to, it was more of a variety show than just like, because book events are famously so boring.
Sure.
And it's so boring to watch someone to read a book that you just bought, like, for what? And then to hear their friend be like, so was this like so hard? And they're like, yeah, it really was.
It was hard to write.
It's so boring. So it was like, okay, I want to make a book show that I would like go to or not regret having attended. So it was fun. It was like a bunch of professional eaters and like comedians and musicians, and like bringing people I'd interviewed for the book on stage if they wanted to. Like, it was really, really fun.
Do you know this one eater? his name escapes me, this eater.
Who, like a big time eater?
He's I think he's a small eater.
Okay.
He's a YouTube eater. I saw him eat cannolis at Sopranos Con, and my friend that I was with was like, "Oh my god,
really?
yes."
Oh my gosh!
But I don't think he's a big eater. I think
there's so
I think
many.
like
It's
eater
like a whole thing.
enthusiasts know him.
Okay, maybe I'm not sure.
He's from New Jersey.
That doesn't really narrow it down very much, honestly.
He's kind of like a beefcake.
That
he
doesn't
has brown
really narrow it
hair.
down very much. There's that is a description of a lot of eaters.
And he does this. This is like his. I think he uses this face on his thumbnails because when I took a picture of him, he did this face. You know, the eater that does that.
You're describing 75% of professional eaters,
just
and I
YouTube
just like
thumbnails.
have no. It could be anyone. That could be anyone at all. I love
wanna
professional
say
eaters.
This is so stupid. So Mr. Beast is the YouTuber who starves people and stuff, right?
Yes.
I want to say his name has Beast in it, though.
I don't know him then. I don't know a beast in the eater community.
JB Beast? I don't know.
I don't know. I've been kind of out of the loop for a couple of years. Maybe he's an up and comer.
I have to look this up. You obviously don't know who I'm talking about, but this
No.
is going to drive me
Who
to
ate
madness.
cannolis at Sopranos Con? Let's see who can figure it out first.
Beast
This is good content,
eater.
right?
I know what town in New Jersey he's from, but I'm hesitant to say it unless, so no one goes to his house.
I'm feeding my Neopet.
Oh, what's his name?
Really?
He did move here. I know so much about him.
Yes, LA Beast.
It's not JB Beast. It's LA Beast.
I don't know LA Beast. Was he a good eater? Did he eat a
You
shitload
guys
of cannolis?
have to meet.
I would please hook us up.
Yeah, he did eat a lot of cannolis.
I love hearing because it's like a totally different approach to every food. Cannoli, that sounds like a hard.
Yeah.
That's just sharp food.
It's kind of dry, despite having cream filling.
It's dry. Yeah, I would imagine it would really dry your mouth out, and then the shard, like the shards.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
you
so
gotta
interesting.
dip. You gotta dip it in something for sure.
Yes, you have to, which is always the thing that people hate the most. But
Yeah.
it's like that's what makes it a sport. They're doing something you would never do. You cannot do with your body if you like. I don't know. Everyone thinks that they could be a professional eater, but truly, very few can.
Yeah, I know I couldn't.
There is at least one person I hear of who dies in an amateur hot dog eating contest every year, and it's like, well, RIP, you weren't a professional. Like, RIP, you didn't train. Not everyone can do it.
How do they die? Is it choke on dog? Is it heart thing?
It's a choke thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's a choke thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's scary. You have to have there's whatever. I could talk about hot dog safety forever, but it's like you do have to have someone there who knows the Heimlich if you're going to be doing a hot dog eating contest. Be serious.
Yeah, duh.
Be serious. Stop. I'm sick of this shit. Stop fucking around.
How to sound smart but relatable.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I want to ask you like your thoughts on you are an independent journalist, podcaster. Well, you have help.
Sure.
You started independent.
Sure.
This day and age where the companies are all getting taken over by scary billionaires and a lot of people are talking about like making their own studios and make things independently. What do you want to do?
I mean,
maybe you're just a book girl now.
No. I do work at iHeartRadio, so I'm maybe not the best person to ask this question to. I don't know. I have worked independently extensively over the years. I don't know if I have a good answer to that question. I think that I feel encouraged by seeing people start their own projects independently. I feel like that's always a moving target where when I was starting in podcasting, because both of my shows that were eventually purchased by a network, started independently, and were like built. And so there was this baseline of like, I or we, me and my co-hosts, like make the rules, and then we're able to demonstrate like, this is what works, don't interfere, right?
Okay.
And so that was something that I've always really valued, is like having, regardless of what the setup is, like, leave me alone, and I'll leave me alone and give me the appropriate amount of time, and I promise I will bring you something that is interesting. I cannot guarantee people are going to listen to it. I don't like being told that like you have to be a marketing professional in order to get it heard. But that is like usually the case.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I guess what do you think about this? Because you're making stuff independently now.
It's
What has the
true.
shift been like?
What do I think? I really want people to make like movie studios, basically.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I wish like I wish more actors and producer, director, like people who are successful in Hollywood, like multi-millionaires. I wish they would start studios.
I know. I feel like it's cool seeing a handful of people like want to give money to independent productions. I feel like, or maybe it's just because I've been looking for it harder than normal, but that a lot of people are making their first low budget feature. They're just like doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just made my first feature earlier this year, and it definitely was, at least in part, in response to like feeling the frustration and churn, and how temporary how temporary everything I was making felt at that time, and how like none of it belonged to me. And seeing all of these incredible examples of things that I feel like because of the like whatever the media landscape that we like became a part of, like nothing ever belonged to us, and that was so normal.
Yeah.
And I didn't really start to dawn on me until years later, like what a big risk that was, because the companies we worked for were swallowed fucking whole by whoever, and everything you worked on for however many years could be totally disappeared if you didn't like swipe a hard drive at the right moment.
Yeah.
And so it was like, that was really when I saw that start to happen, and that was in like, I mean, that was like super deluxe time, where I truly like was told, hey, if you want any of this Leech shit that you made, come in and get a hard drive today, because it's all being disappeared because of a fucking Warner Brothers merger that happened however many years ago. And so seeing that, and also knowing that even though I love these podcasts I've made, I'm very proud of them, some of them don't belong to me, and they could just go away.
Yeah.
And seeing that happen to enough people, or like people who work on shows for streaming for years, and then everything they've worked on is just gone.
Yeah.
And like, that hasn't happened to me yet that I know of, but it's going to. Like, there's it became very important to me to have to make something collaborative and like make something that I was excited about, but it had to belong to me. And even that is a huge privilege, because I use my like podcast savings to make that happen. There's no one, I mean, there are people, but it's so few people who are actually giving people the money they need to like make something. And I don't know what the answer is, other than like what you're saying, like people who are in that position see the problem and care about it to actually just do that.
I know.
But I appreciate this, seeing like people are figuring it out anyways. Yeah. People are making their own stuff, and that like, I don't know. I there's a movie that I saw recently. It's made by these two wonderful filmmakers called Dead Lover, and it's so good. They made it themselves. They funded it through in all of these complicated ways, but that there's no like lack of interest in seeing an independent movie that is like weird and gross and funny. It's just that you're told constantly that there isn't any interest, but it's like it's so obvious that people do want to go see a movie. They want to see something different. They want to see something cool. Because you see it happening all over the place and it works, but you're just told by anyone who has money, well, nobody wants that, even though it's not true.
They're such liars.
It's so they're like, no, go make your fucking reels. And I'm like, no.
They are such liars. And like, yeah, people saying nobody wants to go to the movie theater anymore, and then you're like, wait, who's saying that?
Yeah.
Someone who has a streamer that you watch in your home, they're telling me not to make movies for the theater. That's interesting.
Yeah. And again, not to like go back to the like time thing, but I think that's a part of it is like making something like that takes a shitload of time. Yeah. And I think that like creatively our time has been so thoroughly devalued. And I just like reject that. I feel like there is a like AI brained thing that we're all sort of making this like tacit agreement to be okay with by making worse things faster. Even if they are completely made by people, it's like there's a pressure to be like, well, what if you could make something faster? Because there's someone who's going to try to make something similar and use all of these tools that you're morally opposed to. So the only solution is to what? Do all of those things yourself? Like, that's crazy. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who burn out as a result of like that being the expectation. It's just,
Some of my friends are like, at that stage where they're making like their first movie or their second movie, and I'm hearing what everyone's saying so that I can learn their lessons. One of my friends was telling me they put out a micro budget movie and they were like, we really should have had a star be the star. That made it so much harder.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's fucking hard, though. It's like, how do you do that without money?
I
right?
know.
Like, it's crazy. I'm sorry. I have answers to none of your questions. I just have more questions.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. How many locations does your movie have?
3.
Nice.
Yeah. One of them is my house.
Nice.
The main one is my house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are the other 2?
Exteriors at an Airbnb and then a little office situation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Really big budget stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I want to make a road trip movie, and I have no sense of how much that costs.
It is. I will say I was shocked at how much or how little things can cost.
Sure.
I learned so much. And then there were certain things that I was like, I didn't even know that is something that could cause money.
Yes.
But it's interesting to be punished by that reality in this moment. and isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
Yeah. We actually shot a day of the movie here as well. So I guess technically 4. We were also at DSP for a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. What else should I ask you? I mean, I'm in the presence of a thought leader.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to know? I've led so many thoughts in my illustrious career of having leeches thrown on me and then reading like 5 books.
Here's kind of a bad question.
Okay.
I feel like this is like a lazy question.
Go for it.
And so yeah, when you joined Mensa, and there are all these evil people in Mensa. And we're seeing now in Silicon Valley, all of these people are evil. I feel like this is what someone stupid would ask you.
I think it's like, well,
because it's kind of like, yeah, duh, rich people are evil.
Rich people are definitely evil, and rich people have like supremacy brain. Yeah. But what Mensa taught me is that people of all socioeconomic classes can have supremacy brain.
It's true.
It's not exclusive to the rich. Anyone can be a hateful bigot.
Yeah. And isn't that beautiful?
And that was my main takeaway. And I really think that nothing that's really happened then has pushed back on that idea.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. Got any plugs or anything?
No, I'm like taking my time to work on stuff right now. So
I like
I'm not,
it.
yeah, I still do the Bechtel cast every week. I produce We the Unhoused, with Theo Henderson, who created and hosts it. That comes out bi-weekly, and is a show I'm very proud to be a part of. But outside of that, yeah, I made my first movie. My next book is coming out next year, and I'm sure I'll be, pressured to make something promotional. But just know when it happens, I don't want to be doing it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice. Jamie Loftus, everybody.